puritanical feel about sexuality in general, all over the country really, but definitely in Boston. It's where it all started.
I am the retail buyer, so I buy a lot of the vibrators. I moved here like 6 years ago, and I was couch surfing and just found a couch in JP, and I loved it. And I especially like this part of JP because it's easy to get to everything, and there's kickball in the summertime, and we have queer wrestling in the parks, and yeah.
That's my take on JP. Construction, don't like it. But everything else I love. I love the people, and there's more people out there every day to meet.
An opportunity opened up in this house, and it is the best home I've ever been in. People aren't just like me and are all at the same time. There's artists and people who are creative and people who are forging their own path, and families and blended families and polyamorous families and yuppies and puppies.
I was working at Starbucks at the time. So that's what you do when you're queer and you move to the city to meet friends, is work at Starbucks. And I was walking down Mass Ave near Berkeley, and someone came up to me and said, did you hear about the planes? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And they told me what had happened, and didn't sink in for a good couple of hours, but I immediately called my then partner's parents because his dad was on 93 to Los Angeles, and for some reason he ended up having a late meeting that morning and missed his flight.
I was in Orono, Maine, at the University of Maine, Orono, in my sorority house with 30 other girls. I know it's hard to believe. Next thing you know, there was a next plane crashing in, and some of my sisters had lost some relatives in that, and everyone was pretty much frantically calling, there's an attack on our country. And so I kind of just got up and left and did what I think most Americans did, and sat by their TV and just watched in horror.
It never shook me up, but I also didn't lose anybody who I loved. I was definitely a lot more scared, a lot more shook up, you know, the day after the election. And because we did that to ourselves. I'm definitely a patriot. I was really involved in the anti-war protests in the past couple of years. I truly believe that it is not just our right, but our obligation to stand up and fight for what's right. And if our government's not doing it, then we need to do it.
And it's hard. It is hard every day to get up and put on the uniform and be, hey, there's my boss, George W. Bush. How you doing, you know? I know that I am in a frontline position, making sure that doesn't happen again. And people that are queer can come in and say, hey, you know, there's someone on my side looking out for me. And it feels good.
My grandmother was a huge influence on my life spiritually, and I was very devout as a Catholic as a child. Leaving the church was more about kind of betraying my family than it was about the concern that I had over my Catholic guilt.
I think that religion was all made up just for power, and I don't need a god or a book or high power or anything to tell me different. I don't need the President of the United States saying, you know, God tells us to do this, so you need to do that. I do it because it's what I believe in.
Just accept people for who they want to be, not who you want them to be. You know, and that's a constant struggle. And you know, people who are willing to be lonely, and scared and find their own path, you know. And those are the ones that I love the most.
I love my sister because she has seen me through the good, bad, and the ugly, and she has a history that we share and that we've seen each other through. And I think that no matter how much I can explain about my past, like, she is the person who has lived it with me and who still loves me.
I love me. I'm just kidding. No, I really do love me, but you know what I mean. You gotta be real to yourself, real to your friends. Honesty. If you don't have honesty, then you have nothing. It's like the backbone of life to me. Just being honest, because where's lying gonna get you?
Touche.
Touche. Oh, what?
I've lived in places that are incredibly conservative and have found love there. And I think that giving up on the rest of the country is the best way to kill it. And you know, this is my country too, and I am totally willing to go in and take up space because this little chunky dyke can do that. I think that there are plenty of incredibly intelligent people who live in the red states who vote because the way they do because they're scared, who vote because they think that the country's gonna be safer, and that we, the like communal we that we are here, it threatens their way of life. And I've driven across the country a couple times by myself in my little fleet car, and slept in truck stops, and it was an amazing education on a lot of levels. People were really nice to me. Some people weren't, you know, but for the most part, like, the red states didn't give me much of a problem.
I don't know them. I don't know what they believe. All I can say is open your eyes. Same way I would to you. I bleed the same color as you. My heart beats. I have love. I have hate, just the same as you. Self-righteous.
For me, it's home. You know, good or bad, it's home.
America's queer.
When you have been put into the box that you're a freak, you can put on a tutu and march down the street, as I have done. You know, getting over that judgment that everyone places on you, I think really helps with deciding that who you are is okay, you know?
And the sex is good.
I was